Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to you, my beautiful pen friends, and welcome to another video with your host Andrew. And you join me on what, again, is a wet and quite windy day here in the UK, so hopefully the rain won't disturb us too much. Anyway, last week we looked at the Leonardo Momenta Zero, and I thought, let's continue that today by having a look at the Santini Libra and see what it's like after several months of use. So let's roll those titles and see what it's like. Right then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another video. So I thought we'll have another look at this Santini Libra today, and I'll share my thoughts and opinions on this. Today I will actually do a size comparison. I know I didn't last week, but I thought, you know what, I'm not going to be lazy. I will actually do a size comparison. I'll also do a writing sample today, and I will then share my thoughts and opinions of this pen several months after use. So let's have a look at this pen. I'll do a quick update for you in case you haven't seen the previous video, and we'll start at the top and then we'll work our way down to the bottom. So on the top we've got this conical top, very beautiful. I do like these conical tops, and it's something which I do favour in the designs of my pens. I have a number of these conical tops across most of my pens, well not most of them, but quite a few of them, and it's something which I do favour. So we come down onto this Italian style roller clip, very nice, very practical, and the little wheel is a little bit stiff on here, but it slips into a pocket with great ease, as you can see. So we then come down onto the cap ring, which says Santini Libra, very nice. Some people do comment on this being a little bit too flamboyant, and at times I agree, and at times I really like it. I think it's one of those sort of pens which matches the mood of the day. So anyway, let's just take off the cap. Now the real star of the show, as usual, is the nib. This is the business end, so to speak. And we've got an 18 karat gold nib here. Now at the end of this video, I must remember to try and tell you there's a little bit of news coming from Santini in terms of their nibs, and it's quite exciting, I must say. But anyway, this is an 18 karat gold fine flexi nib with an ebonite feed, and it's friction fitted into this section, which has a little sort of taper down, and it stops your fingers from slipping onto the actual nib. Very nice. There is no cartridge converter, so can't unscrew that. Comes down, steps up onto the main barrel, and then tapers down very gently to a gold ring with the piston filler. The piston filler is absolutely fantastic, and once I've got this up, I will actually give you the size and measurements for this pen. There we go. Okay, and then yeah, let's just have a look at this material. This material is a Conway Stewart material, and it's the amber fleck material, and it really is absolutely quite wonderful. It's more translucent than I actually initially thought. You can see the inner workings of this pen. So yes, you can actually see your ink in there. It's not a huge capacity, but it's decent enough for a good few pages of writing. I've certainly found in my time of using this. But that really is it in a nutshell. I really love this pen. It's comfy, the threads don't dig into your hands, and the expression of this nib really is absolutely fantastic. But I'll talk more about that in my thoughts and opinions of this pen. So let's now move on to doing a writing sample, and then we'll do a size comparison, and then I'll share those thoughts with you. Okay, right, so ladies and gentlemen, we've got the Santini Libra. It's an 18 karat. Sorry about the K there. Do not know what was going on there. Gold nib. And it's fine flex. Lovely. Okay. Ink is Sailor Manu. and it is Nadeshiko. Cool. Right. Now this is a really dry ink, and I'm using this on Midori paper. That's one pass. I'm not going to try and do a smear test because I just know that this is really dry. And there we go, 2 passes. I will try and provide a sample of this on my Instagram feed so that you guys can actually see what this is like. Okay, let's write out the quick brown fox next. Oh, that really did jump there. Jumps. Wonderful. Okay. Well, let's just move that paper up a little bit so I've got a bit of space to write. Wonderful. Okay, now here comes the real magic. This is the Flex. This is just such a expressive nib. Now, it might not appear to have a lot of line variation here, but it is really, really quite gorgeous. I'm trying to do this around a tripod as well, which doesn't make life any easier. I do need to get myself a boom arm, but I keep buying pens. Go figure, eh? But if I just do these horizontally, you can really see that line variation there. And it is absolutely gorgeous. Let's just do those vertically as well. It's a little bit of pressure, a bit more pressure. And there we go. So I'm just going to write out test so you can see the expressive nature of this. Wonderful. It really is such a wonderful nib. Santini have done such a fabulous, fabulous job on this pen. Okay, let's have a look and see if it can actually reverse right. I'm sure it can. Ooh. It can, but with this Sailor ink, it's not the best in the world. I have used this with other inks like Leonardo Black, and I can safely say that it actually does perform so much better. So that's really the writing sample in a nutshell. You have seen this pen featured on quite a number of videos, so you should have a pretty good idea of how this pen works if you've seen those. But for anyone new to the channel, I hope that has shown to some degree how this pen actually operates. Okay, let's just do a size comparison of these pens next, and then we'll move on to my thoughts and opinions of this nib, as well as a little bit of news about what Santini's got planned in the future. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, on the left-hand side we've got the Santini Libra in amber, then we've got the Leonardo Officina Italiana Momento Zero Grande in Arco Brown, then we've got the Mayora Impromptu Turie, and then lastly but not least we have got a Alami Safari, which is a Sakura edition, which is hand painted by myself. So those are the 4 pens which I wanted to compare with today. What is quite interesting is that this Libra is almost as big as a Momento Zero Grande, but it does actually provide an 18 karat gold nib. If you get yourself a regular Memento Zero, a regular Memento Zero Grande, it comes with a steel nib, and both of the pens are actually at the same price. Now obviously Leonardo are buying in their nibs, so it's not really a discredit to Leonardo, but it's really presenting what good value Santini really does offer. So let's just get these uncapped and you can see what these are like uncapped in comparison. And as you can see, uncapped, they are all virtually identical in length, which is actually quite nice. I've got a bit of consistency in my collection. The Mayora, I should also mention, is the oversized version. I should be getting in the standard version for review at some stage, thanks to Elliot. So yeah, please do watch out for that video in the future. Okay, so let's now just go back to myself and I will give you my thoughts and opinions on this pen, as well as some news. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so I've now had this pen for a good number of months. I think it was around about February time this year when I purchased this pen, maybe slightly before that. Yeah, I think it's about February time when I purchased this pen, and I've really enjoyed using this. In terms of its flexibility, it's an expressive nib. It's certainly not a full flex nib, but it's not advertised as one. They do have a full flex nib in their actual arsenal, and it's something which I would love to add to my collection at some stage. Right, so I use this pen pretty much on a daily basis, purely because the nib is such a good performer. The ebonite feed keeps up perfectly with the nib, and this fine actual really is more like an extra fine, which for myself is perfect. I really love the expression from like an extra fine line, almost like a needle point, to something like a broad line, and it really does give my handwriting and my art a lot of character. There isn't really any negatives I can say about this pen, to be honest. Other than that, the band can be a little bit overpowering, I think. But other than that, it's really good. I like that you've got Libra and Santini equally spaced on both sides. That's, you know, that's a really nice attention to detail. The material is really nice. There are other materials which I prefer, and since owning this pen, Santini really have gone from strength to strength in terms of actually releasing different trims and finishes for their pens. One thing I would love to see actually on the Libra range is maybe, and if this is something which could potentially happen, is removing the actual cap ring here, but putting maybe a Santini band just around here on the cap. I just think the pen looks a little bit naked at this point here, and you've got a nice little gold ring here, but other than that, yeah, it'd be really nice just to have a metal ring just underneath the actual barrel onto the section. I think that would really set it off, and I would certainly sacrifice it from having it on the actual cap here. And yeah, I know this has been an opinion which has been shared by other people. So any other negatives? No, it's a really easy pen to sort of maintain. One other thing which I might actually point out, it's not a criticism by any stretches of the means, but it would be quite nice, and I don't know if it is, I think this is friction fitted into here, but I need to double check with Santini if you can actually unscrew the actual housing. If you can't, and I've got a feeling you can't, it would be really nice to actually have a housing unit in there which you could unscrew, which would make maintaining this pen a little bit easier. Sometimes you do have to flush this pen quite a number of times to clean it out, which isn't necessarily a heartache, but it's something which could be potentially thought of in the future. Okay, so who's this pen for and who it isn't for? This, to be honest, I would say is the best value Italian brand there is. Certainly the fact that Santini produces their own nibs. You've got a range of pens ranging from around about 211 euros upwards of about 1600 euros. So there's something for everyone there. You've got hand painted pens in the collection, you've got enameled pens, and you've got standard, well, when I say standard, you've got really more traditional style pens as well as a nice fun sort of art range, which is like their entry level. So there really is something for everyone within the Santini range. Now, onto the news. Okay, so there's a few things which have come out from Santini recently, and I will try and get some stock pictures to overlay as I talk about it, with the exception, I should say, of just 2 items, which I don't know if I will be able to get between the actual filming of this video and the actual publishing of it. So the first big news is that Santini have got a little bit of celluloid. I'm not going to tell you what celluloid, I'm going to keep you under suspense for that, but they've got a little bit of celluloid which hopefully in the near future will be making its way to the market. Not only that, they're going to be coupling it with a number 8 size nib. Some people might find this nib a little bit too small for the size of this pen. I personally, I don't mind it, but I digress. Yes, a number 8 size nib. That will be absolutely fantastic. And also, excitingly, they have got a number 5 size flex nib. Now, one thing I have had a conversation with Santini is about flex nibs. I talk to Santini quite a lot. They are really personable and they're great fun to talk to, especially in terms of development. And what they're trying to do is emulate that of the vintage flex nibs which we had. And the one thing which they all had in common, apparently, was that they were much smaller than the modern nibs. And that really did, apparently, according to them, I can't confirm this, but I would trust them as they make their own nibs, that really did add to the flexibility of the nib. So that is something to look forward to. Now, there was a couple of new releases recently. You've got the Black Diamond, which I'm going to just put a picture of. And there's another one, and I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but I will overlay the picture right now, and you can have a look. And it's a really nice orange and black pen. I'd like to see a little bit more of an interest within the acrylics coming into these Nonagon pen ranges. I'm glad that they're now doing acrylic pens because it's bringing it in to a slightly better price point for the consumer. But some more interesting acrylics, more Conway Stewart materials in the Nonagon range would be absolutely fantastic. If there is something which you want to change on your Santini pen, be it the extraction of a cap ring or the addition of something else, then please do get in contact with them. They will always entertain your thoughts. They won't produce a brand new cap ring for you just because the process of that would be far too expensive for them. But I'm sure if the money was right, I'm sure they would probably say yes. They're the kind of people which really do like to entertain your sort of thoughts. Anyway, that really does bring me to the end of this video. I can't really say that this pen isn't for anyone, to be honest. Obviously, those who can't afford €211, this is going to be out of your price range. But if you can afford €211 plus, then I would certainly recommend you check out Santini. They really are an exemplar of Italian style and workmanship. So that really leaves it for today. Next week I have got another pen from Nettuno. There we go. I've got another pen from Nettuno to have a look at. So please check out the video next week, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Till then, stay safe and goodbye.